In this experience we call life, you might hear a motherfucker say some shit like, control your emotions, when that's just not the case, technically. Let's talk about it.
I mean, mood is just your emotions, honestly. It's another... Your emotions dictate whatever mood you in. The mood is the environment of your emotions and shit. So, like, you get mad and now you're angry. Your mood is angry because you got mad and shit like that. So, like, you were saddened, so your mood is fucking sadness and depression and all this other shit. So, like, the environment gonna be the environment. This earth and all these energies and shit been here. We was put in the mix. So, I mean, it's what we gonna do with the energy presented.
No, for sure. For sure, but
it's shit just self-awareness and shit like that.
It's a lot easier when you got some patience.
It's easier said than done.
No, it's just patience. And when people don't got patience,
most motherfuckers can't control their emotions. You have to be super spiritually inclined for that. Your emotions are going to occur whether you want them to or not. It's your job to find clarity within yourself so you're aware of why you react to certain shit the way you do, so you can make conscious decisions towards your impulses when dealing with these emotions. This is called self-control. Emotions are a natural expression of how we react to life. It's the language of our aura. It's how our subconscious converses and communicates with the universe. Consciously, you express using your voice and movement. But how does your subconscious express itself? Through emotions. Your subconscious doesn't have a voice to speak vocally, so it asks for a substitute. Emotions are provoked, yes, but it's not something you have conscious control over. You can't make yourself mad and no one can make you mad. You can only indulge in the presence of anger, meaning you can intensify the feeling, but its presence is your initial response to mood. You can't indulge in what doesn't exist. For example purposes, get mad right now. Go. Like right now, get mad. And actually mean it, like really, get mad. Now, if you can't make yourself mad, how the fuck can somebody make you mad?
This nigga making me mad.
No, they're not. You're naturally reacting to displeasure. But it's your willingness to entertain this displeasure that elongates the situation and intensifies this feeling of imbalance within.
What do you mean you can't control your emotions? I stop myself from getting mad all the time.
That's self-control. You control your impulses, not the emotion. The emotion is the natural reaction to the situation. A small presence of anger is much easier to subdue than a large presence of anger. How much self-control do you have? You were aware of the circumstances, therefore you were able to control the presence of anger and alter its effects. But let's not forget you were initially upset, whether it was a small feeling or not. The moral of the story is, no, the average person can't control their emotions, but you can control how you express them and practice balance and patience with impulses when dealing with the toxic ones.
Most human beings think this itself is ultimate transformation. If somebody can think differently and feel differently and they become pleasant human beings, people normally start saying, he's a spiritual person, he's so wonderful. No, no, no. He's just a regular human being. Others are still evolving. If a human being is conscious, thinks what he wants, not compulsively, and holds his emotion the way he wants, this is just a human being. This is not something, he attained to something, no. He's just a human being. Others who cannot even think the way they want, feel the way they want, there's an evolutionary issue. What you need to understand is, thought is agile. Today my thought says she is the most wonderful person. Tomorrow, if she does something that I don't like, immediately my thought says, she is no good. But if my emotions have gone ahead with this wonderful person, emotions are not that agile, they cannot turn around so quickly, it's little sappy, it takes time. In the meantime, you struggle because thought says this is not okay, but emotion is still entangled. Now what do I do about this? Don't try to control your emotions or thoughts, because the very nature of your mind is such that I don't want to think about this person means that's the only person I'm going to think about for the rest of my life. So, when compulsive thoughts and emotions come, first and foremost thing that you do is, you simply see them for what they are. You don't try to resist them, just understand that thought and emotion are just a recycle of the data that is already there, something that you remember. It is just that memory is little smelly, it just keeps coming. You just have to see it like that. Similarly with your thought and emotion, a little bit of practice to create a little distance from your physiological processes and your psychological processes come. But if you try to handle individual thought and emotion, they will multiply thousandfold. What you call as emotion is just the juicier part of the thought. Yes? The way you think is the way you feel, isn't it so? Because thought and emotion are not separate. Thought is dry, emotion is juicy, but it's the same thing.